64 base. Okay, page 64, Mechaber, Hilchis Tefillin, Halacha Beis, Mishazor b'talus koton. A person who's careful, he wears talus koton, which is not a garment which is specifically for tefillah. He wears it to fulfill the mitzvah of tzitzis. Yilbasheno, he should put on the talus koton. V'yonech tefillin bebeso, puts tefillin at home. V'yelech lovush b'tzitzis umuchta tefillin b'sakneses, and you go crowned. The tefillin called pe'er. It's an ornament. So you wear tzitzis, although they're not being, the garment is not designated for tefillah. So you're wearing the tefillin, it's a tzitzis, and you put on the tefillin. V'shom yisat, excuse me. Umuchta b'tefillin, the beis hakneses. V'shom yisate b'talus godel. When you come to shul, that's when you put on talus godel. And we said earlier, what's the reason why you first do tzitzis then tefillin? Mal mitzvah domaridin. So at home, you should first put on talus koton, and then you put on the tefillin. And when you come to shul, there's the mechaber, you wrap yourself in the large talus, which is the talus, which is miyuchad, which is specifically designated for tefillah. Hagod Ramoses, but Ashkenazim conduct themselves differently. Ha'olam nogu lesatev ap v'talus godel kodem ulevorich. He says the minog of people is first to wrap yourself with talus godel ulevorich olav, and then say the bracha on tefillin. This is when if you put your tefillin at home. We'll discuss, people, even in the shul, they put on the tefillin in the side room, and they walk into the shul with the talus and tefillin. It comes from this is what it is. That we should enter into tefillin, into the shul, already with tzitzis and tefillin, for the reason.
So what is the order, the difference between the Sephardim?
The Sephardim, Tereb, that they put on talus and shul.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but what the Mechaber is saying, at home you put on the talus koton, which is not the garment which is specifically designated for tefillah, but you've fulfilled the mitzvah tzitzis. So speaking of malim b'kodesh, so first you do the mitzvah tzitzis, then you advance it to tefillin, which is a more advanced level.
Talus gadol?
You put it when you come to shul.
So why would you be putting tefillin on his home?
So when you enter into the Beis HaKnesses, you're crowned with the crown of tefillin.
Oh, I see. He's presuming that you're walking.
Very well. In Israel, you see this many people. They walk in the street with tefillin even during the. They put on the tefillin. Even many of them not wearing talesim. Some yes, Shabbos is talit, but during the week, they have it covered. With a hat or something. Tefillin. The show rosh, the bias is under the hat, not exposed. As far as they wear caps, many of them wear caps. They wear a cap, and the cap is covering the tefillin, what they call the casket. Okay. Let's in Mishna Berura. Bebeso, he says, Kadeshi Yetzim Pesach Beso B'tzitzis U'Tefillin. It seems to be not that you should enter into the shul with tzitzis and tefillin, but when you leave your house, you should leave your house with tzitzis and tefillin. Moshe Beis Yosef Darkei Moshe B'Shem HaZohar. It's based on the Zohar. Ayin Shom Shu'in Godel has great value. Okay, this is Api Kabbalah. This idea. You should leave your house with tzitzis and tefillin. Let's say if you have passed through alleyways which are unclean. So the tzitz is not a problem, but the tefillin, it's like going into a bathroom wearing tefillin. Oshem mitzuyin shom, mitzuyin nochrim berchov, where you can pass by non-Jews. Then you shouldn't put them at home because you're exposed to tefillin to this inappropriate situation. So you put it on in the courtyard of the shul. V'mi efshar. What happens if you can't? You put them at home and you cover it either with your hat, the tefillin sharosh, or you cover it with your hand when you walk in the street, because you're going to pass by these various locations, either it's unclean or among goyim, you cover it. When a person rises, it's too early to put on tefillin. It's before dawn. So you're not able to fulfill what the Zohar instructs you to do. V'adayin lo motis ma'chiyuva, and it's before the time of chiyuv. Kol mokum yer yom yosdom sheyetzil chatz beis hakneses. You're in the shul, go out into the courtyard of the shul, v'il boshem shom, and you put on tefillin there, v'yikodes achak beis hakneses, and you walk back into the shul.
So it seems like it's important that you don't put talis and tefillin on in the shul. You come in already with.
That's the Zohar. That's the Zohar, based on the Zohar. See, by me it's easy. I put it on in my office and walk into my talis and tefillin.
It's a sign of respect too. If you come in ready to go, as opposed to trying to put it on, you know.
But if you're already in the building, it seems like he's suggesting that you go out.
L'chatchila, you should good. But what happened? You're not able to. You arrived too early. He says you should go out and come back again.
Walking the street, you don't need to find the cover and take it out. You really need to cover.
Even the street, it's not you going into the bathroom. It's not just. It's not appropriate. It's not. It's not Yisr. It's just a disrespect. One's an Yisr. You can't go into a location which is where people relieve themselves. That's an Yisr. That's an Yisr D'oraisa. That's a Torah violation. Here, it's just not appropriate. What about a goy? The non-Jew shouldn't see the tefillin. It's something which is private, something of that value, spiritual value. Should not be. The goy should not be. It's not privy to that. You cover it. Either they took them off when they walked out, or they covered them. They would cover them. V'sham yisatif, this is the mechaber. V'alpi shabo hatals godol yodu kom shiniach tefillin. He says, although he has the talis godol at home, he says when he has talis godol at home, when he comes to shul, he wraps himself in the large talis. Ein tzorch lesatif b'beso. Kev shein dato lov shotan, as we said earlier. When we say Im Avirin ala mitzvos, if I'm ready to do two mitzvos, one after another, the question is which one do you do first? It's the one that first comes to hand, that's the one you should do. Although he has the talis godol at home, but since he plans not to put it on until he gets to shul, putting on the tefillin before the talis godol is not a problem. Correct? It's not even, you're not passing on the talis godol. I'm not ready to do that mitzvah now. Lesativ mokum shemtsui nochrim berchov yisati b'chatz beis knesses im efshelo, rather than wearing the talis through the street. Ulevarich olav pirush pirchas lesativ v'chaven lifter bevrochu zu gam talis kotom kedleil b'simin ches sifur ay Mishna Berura Tefillin kol chodal. Okay, very good. Further, Gimel. Harosha yimasade abrochos ad ot yisod b'sefero. The Rosh, there's a difference between the Ashkenazim, Svardim, Svardim, as the Torah says, the way the midah was at one time, every movement of the body, as you sit, as you stand, you would say, it's okay for fufim. You'd open your eyes, you'd say, right, Bukei Chivrim, everyone. So he says, the Rosh, when he would set up the order of the Birchas HaShachar, he would say it, and when he would come to Oti Yisod B'Savro, we're coordinated with something of glorification, something which is a pair. Vosa Yiminech Tefillin, especially by the people who daven Nusach Svard, when they say Oti Yisod B'Savro, they touch the throne Sharosh. I don't know if you notice. Oti Yisod B'Savro, he cloaks us with Tifara, with glorification. That's the Tefillin Sharosh. So the Rosh, when we come to that bracha, before we say the bracha, he would what? He would say that bracha. Mevorech oti v'niach tefillin u'mevorech oti yisod b'sefero. Put on the tefillin, then he'd say, Hashem cloaked me with tifara, with glorification. V'soyo k'dei litei shevach l'odo b'bracha zu, to give praise and thanks. Gam al tefillin shnikron pe'er, shenema pe'er chochov shalech regarding Yechezkel Hanovi, k'al tefillin shalehim pe'er liYisrael. That's our ornament. When they will see the Shem Hashem Nikro Alecho, they will revere you. The Arz Chaim is the Malbim, writes Lorisi Shinokein. He says he hasn't seen, at least among Ashkenazim, that they conduct themselves this way. They put on tefillin before we begin saying Birchas HaShachar. Each person, according to his meaning, some people say Birchas HaShachar at home, come to shul, they put on the tefillin. Rak Reisi B'daknu Mashu Tefillin Shal Yad Shal Rosh B'Shem Baruch. What was what they says? Interesting. Normally, what you see is people touch the Shal Rosh. Oti Shal B'Shem Baruch. He says Mash B'Shin B'Tefillin Shal Yad B'Shal Rosh. Sim to as Pesach Shadecha. Right, Pesach Shadecha. You touch the Tefillin Shal Yad, and then you touch the Tefillin Shal Rosh. Most people do this. I've never seen them touch the Tefillin Shal Yad. Seems here when you say Oti Shal B'Sefra, you should touch the Shal Yad, and then the Shal Rosh. Could be the reason is because of Emor Berura Tefillin, as we said earlier. The Emor is- I understand that, but still. But the pass on the Tefillin Shal Yad to Shal Rosh, maybe it's like a semi-disrespect. Even though you want to indicate what the pair is. The Shal Yad's not the pair. The pair, what's the distinction is what you wear on your head. Because the majority of Shem Hashem, Shin Dalid, is in the Tefillin Shal Rosh, which is not the Shal Yad. The Shal Yad only has the Yud, the knot, right? Besides being covered. Okay, let's see the Mishna Berura. That'll be Ramchal.
What do you do?
I just go like this. But now I be careful, touch the Shal Yad also. Most times I do it, times I don't do it, because it's not my minhag really. I picked it up, I sing the Sasar, do it.
The sequence, you go Yad Rosh or Rosh Yad?
No, always Yad Rosh.
Always. Okay.
When you do what?
When you say Otei Yisrael B'Sefara.
B'Sefra.